Welcome to Next Art. We share insights for gallery reps, collectors, and artists.
Exploring tech trends shaping the future of art.
Stay tuned, subscribe, and visit us online for more.
Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's both fascinating and a little unnerving.
Okay.
Art market bubbles.
Ooh, exciting.
We're going to try to answer the big question. Which one might burst next?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Art markets, like any market,
Right.
can get caught up in these speculative frenzies, right?
Absolutely.
Where prices just skyrocket. And it's based more on hype and the fear of missing out than actual value.
Yeah.
So how can you tell the difference?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
What even is an art market bubble?
Yeah, how do we define this?
So an art market bubble happens when we see rapid, excessive price increases driven by speculation, not genuine demand for
Right.
the art itself.
Yeah.
Eventually, that speculation, that bubble, bursts,
Right.
often leaving financial chaos in its wake.
Ooh, so it's not good
Not good at all.
when it bursts. No.
So think of it like this. When the perceived value of something is drastically higher than its intrinsic worth, the value tied to its artistic merit, historical significance, or cultural impact, that's a red flag for a potential bubble.
Exactly.
So to figure out if we're on the verge of another crash, or if this time really is different,
Right.
maybe we should, I don't know, learn from history.
Yeah, let's go back to a classic example that still makes economists shudder. Tulip Mania in 17th century Holland.
Tulip Mania,
Yeah.
that's the one where people were trading their houses for tulip bulbs. Sounds almost comical.
It does, but it's a powerful example of how quickly speculative fervor can detach value from reality.
Okay.
There's even a story about a sailor who mistook a valuable tulip bulb for an onion and ate it.
He ate it.
He ate it. Later found out what he'd consumed was worth more than a skilled worker's annual salary.
Oh, no. So at the peak of Tulip Mania, what was a single tulip bulb actually going for?
A single Semper Augustus tulip bulb could go for 10,000 guilders,
Wow.
the equivalent of a luxury canal-side home in Amsterdam.
So you're trading your house for a flower.
Imagine trading your house for a flower.
Oh, my goodness. It's hard to wrap my head around that kind of frenzy.
Yeah.
But like all bubbles, it couldn't last forever, could it?
Right. By early 1637, confidence evaporated and the market collapsed almost overnight.
Oh,
Many people were financially ruined.
okay.
And it serves as a stark reminder. No matter how hot a market seems,
Yeah.
those built on speculation are inherently unstable.
Oh.
Could this happen again? Maybe with something like NFTs? That's a question we need to keep asking ourselves.
That is a scary thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's fast forward a few centuries to the 1980s, Japan's economic boom and its obsession with Impressionist art.
Okay.
Wasn't this different somehow?
It was a period of incredible economic growth for Japan.
Hmm.
They were fascinated with Western culture.
Okay.
And Impressionist art became this status symbol of their newfound wealth.
So these pieces were being snapped up for astronomical prices, but wasn't it more than just hype this time? We're talking about Van Gogh,
Yeah.
Monet, Renoir.
Big names.
These are big names in art history.
Right. There's that famous story about a Japanese businessman, Ryohei Saito, who bought Van Gogh's portrait of Dr. Gachet and Renoir's Bal du Moulin de la Galette for over $160 million. He even said he wanted to be cremated with those paintings.
Yes, and that really underscores how intertwined art, wealth, and status had become.
Oh, wow.
But while the art itself had intrinsic value, when Japan's real estate and stock markets crashed in the early 1990s,
Oh.
the art market followed suit.
Oh, no.
Prices plummeted, and many of those once prized pieces were sold for a fraction of their purchase price.
So even established blue-chip art with a known history and cultural impact isn't immune to these market forces.
Right.
Wow, what does that mean for what's happening now?
It means we need to be careful.
Okay.
Let's fast forward to the present day and talk about the elephant in the room, NFTs.
NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, have taken the art world by storm.
Mm-hmm.
For those who aren't familiar, can you give us a quick breakdown?
In essence, an NFT is a digital certificate of ownership
Okay.
for a unique digital asset, verified and tracked using blockchain technology.
Okay.
Imagine it as a digital fingerprint,
Right.
proving you own the original.
Got it.
And it can be anything digital, a piece of digital art, music, even a tweet.
Like Beeple's Everydays, the first 5,000 days,
Mm-hmm.
which sold for a record-breaking $69 million at Christie's. That was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about it.
It is a huge deal.
So are NFTs really the future of art, or are we looking at another bubble ready to pop?
That's the question we'll tackle next.
Right, stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after a short break.
Sounds good. Welcome back to Next T Art.
So much to unpack.
When we left off, we
Yeah.
were about to unpack the NFT craze.
Right.
And whether it could be the next bubble to burst.
Yeah, NFTs seem to be at a crossroads. Is this really a revolution in art ownership, or are we all just blinded by the hype?
Right.
Is there something more to this than just speculation?
So it's true, the technology behind NFTs,
Yeah.
the blockchain, is pretty revolutionary.
In what way?
It's a digital ledger that records transactions across a network of computers.
Okay.
And that makes it almost impossible to forge or alter.
Okay.
So blockchain is bringing this level of transparency and security we've never seen before in the art world,
Oh, wow.
giving us the ability to truly track the provenance of a digital artwork
Right.
and put those questions about authenticity or forgeries to bed.
So no more art heist movies where someone swaps out the real painting for a fake.
Well, maybe not for digital art, but
Right.
it's more than just provenance.
Okay.
NFTs also have the potential to democratize the art market.
Good.
Imagine a world where artists can connect directly with collectors,
Yeah.
bypassing the traditional gatekeepers like
Yeah.
galleries and auction houses.
That would be a huge shift in power dynamics.
Absolutely.
It could empower artists who have been historically marginalized or excluded from those traditional systems.
Exactly.
Yeah, it seems like a way to level the playing field.
It does. And then there's the question of artist compensation.
Okay.
With NFTs, we have these built-in royalties for artists on secondary sales.
What?
Every time an NFT is resold,
Yeah.
the original artist receives a percentage of the transaction.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that you sell a piece once, but continue to benefit from its success down the line.
That's a total game changer for artists.
It is.
That means artists can continue to benefit from their work long after that initial sale.
Exactly.
No wonder everyone's so excited about NFTs.
Right.
It really does seem like a disruption, and a positive one at that.
It does, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Why?
One of the biggest criticisms of NFTs is the environmental impact.
Oh, right. I've heard about that.
The blockchain technology underpinning NFTs
Yeah.
requires a significant amount of energy,
Right.
which contributes to carbon emissions.
Yeah. There are some pretty valid concerns about how sustainable this is.
Absolutely.
Not to mention the volatility of the market.
Right.
The NFT market has been all over the place since it started.
It has.
Prices fluctuate wildly, so it's a risky investment for anyone, especially newcomers.
For sure.
It makes those tulip bulbs look stable.
It's true. We've seen a similar frenzy in the NFT market, and there's always a risk of getting caught up in the hype.
Yeah.
And we can't forget about the concerns about inflated prices.
Right.
Some argue that many NFTs are simply overpriced
Okay.
and that the value is driven more by speculation and hype
Mm-hmm.
than any inherent artistic merit.
Right.
Remember what we talked about, intrinsic versus perceived value.
Yes.
It's important to take that all into consideration.
So it sounds like NFTs are a bit of a double-edged sword.
They are.
We have this incredible potential for innovation,
Yeah,
but also some serious risks and concerns.
absolutely.
It's almost impossible to tell which side will win out.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
There's no easy answer. Right.
I think it's important to approach NFTs with both cautious optimism and a healthy dose of skepticism.
So don't get caught up in the hype, but also don't dismiss the potential for positive change.
Exactly.
It sounds like we need to look at this from all sides.
We do.
Okay.
Educate yourself about the technology,
Right.
the artists,
Yeah.
the market dynamics.
Right.
Learn how blockchain works,
Mm.
how it verifies ownership and creates that digital scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, if you decide to invest in art that you genuinely connect with, not just because you think it might appreciate in value.
Okay.
Does the work speak to you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in the artist's vision? Those are the important questions.
It sounds like we need to balance our excitement about this new technology with what we've learned from the past.
Exactly.
So looking back at Tulip Mania and the Japanese art bubble, are we repeating the mistakes of the past, or are we witnessing something truly transformative?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is, and it's one we can't answer definitively just yet.
Okay.
Only time will tell whether NFTs will prove to be a sustainable force in the art world
Right.
or just another chapter in the long history of art market bubbles.
Right.
But this time we have a technological innovation, blockchain,
Right.
that could fundamentally change how art is created, owned, and traded.
Wow.
It adds another layer of complexity to the equation.
It's a fascinating and uncertain time, for sure.
Yeah,
History has taught us that art markets are constantly evolving.
they are.
So what's next?
Well, let's shift gears and look at some emerging trends
Okay.
that could potentially become breeding grounds for future bubbles.
Hey.
This is where things get really interesting.
Oh, always.
One area that's generating a lot of buzz right now is AI art.
Okay.
With all the advancements in artificial intelligence, we're
Yeah.
seeing algorithms create art
Yeah.
that's increasingly sophisticated and visually stunning.
It's true. I've seen those AI-generated portraits and landscapes popping up everywhere online. Some of them are so realistic, it's hard to believe a human didn't create them.
But it raises a whole host of questions about authorship, originality,
Who's the artist?
and what we even consider to be art.
When a machine creates the work.
Exactly.
Yeah. And how do we assess the value of something created by an algorithm? Could we see a speculative frenzy around AI-generated art?
It's definitely possible.
Okay.
As these AI art generators become more advanced,
Right.
the line between human and machine creativity will blur even further.
It will be interesting to see how collectors and institutions respond to this new wave of art.
Yeah.
How do you put a price tag on something that was created by a computer program? What will it mean for human artists? So many questions.
Absolutely. And then there's another trend to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Virtual reality and the rise of immersive digital experiences.
We're seeing more and more artists creating art specifically for virtual reality environments.
Yes.
It's like stepping into another world.
It is.
And museums and galleries are exploring ways to offer virtual exhibitions and tours,
Yeah.
which opens up so many possibilities for experiencing and interacting with art.
For sure.
I even saw a virtual sculpture the other day
Mm-hmm.
that seemed to change shape depending on where you stood.
Wow.
It was incredible.
It's pretty mind-blowing, but
Yeah.
these virtual experiences also create new challenges when
Right.
it comes to valuation and ownership.
Right.
How do you assess the value of a piece of art that only exists in a virtual world,
Yeah.
and who owns it when it's digital?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It feels like we're moving further away from the physical world and into this digital realm.
We are.
But how do the rules of art change with it?
Yeah.
Could that lead to a speculative bubble in virtual reality art?
It's definitely within the realm of possibility.
Wow.
As these virtual worlds become more popular and valuable,
Right.
the art that exists within them could become highly sought after,
Mm-hmm.
driving prices up and
Right.
creating a whole new market for collectors.
Yeah. But is that value real? Or is it just another form of hype?
It sounds like the future of art is going to be very interesting, to say the least.
It is.
We have so much to think about, and I don't even know where to begin.
It is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
As we navigate these uncharted waters,
Yeah.
it's more important than ever to stay informed, to be discerning, and to appreciate the genuine artistic value above all else.
So what's the message?
Exactly.
The feeling, the story behind the work, regardless of how it was created.
Exactly.
That's a great reminder.
Yeah.
Don't get lost in the bells and whistles. But how do we apply all this to our own lives and work?
right.
What does it mean for the artists, collectors, and gallery owners listening to this?
Well, for that, you'll have to stay tuned for part 3.
Welcome back to Next Art. This deep dive has been a wild ride through art market bubbles.
It has.
From the tulip craze of the 17th century to the modern-day NFT frenzy.
From tulips to AI.
It's been a lot.
It has. So what does it all mean for you, our listeners? The gallery reps, collectors, and artists navigating this complex and ever-changing art world.
Right.
How do we apply what we've learned?
That's exactly what we're going to unpack in this final part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We want to equip you with the insights and knowledge to make informed decisions, whether you're buying, selling, or creating art.
Okay.
Because the art world is changing fast.
Yeah.
But the more we understand the past,
Right.
the better prepared we'll be for the future.
Let's start with the gallery reps, the ones on the front lines,
Yeah.
connecting artists with collectors and helping to shape the market.
Yes.
What advice would you give them in light of these historical and emerging trends?
First and foremost, education is key.
Okay.
Gallery reps need to be well-versed in the history of art market bubbles.
Okay.
They need to understand the patterns, the warning signs,
Right.
and the potential consequences.
Okay.
But they also need to understand the technology behind these new art forms.
Right.
What is blockchain? How does it work? What are the potential benefits and risks?
It's more than just knowing the latest trends.
Right.
It's about understanding the forces that drive speculation.
Exactly.
It's about looking beyond the hype and helping your clients do the same.
Absolutely. And it's equally important to be transparent.
Okay.
Educate your clients about the risks of investing in these speculative markets.
Yeah.
Don't just focus on the potential upside.
Right.
Be honest about the potential downside as well.
Remember those tulips.
Remember those tulips.
Don't trade your house.
Don't trade your house.
Instead of just chasing quick profits, focus on building trust
Yeah.
and fostering long-term relationships with collectors.
Absolutely.
Okay. And as new trends emerge, like AI art or virtual reality art, gallery reps need to be discerning.
Yes.
Okay. Do your due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
Research the artists, the technology, the market.
Yes.
Ask critical questions about the value proposition and the long-term sustainability of these new art forms.
Will this still be relevant in 5 years? In 10 years? Or is it just a fad?
It's about challenging your clients to think beyond the hype
Right.
and consider the inherent artistic value of the work.
Exactly.
What's the message, the feeling, the story behind the work?
That's a great point.
Now let's turn our attention to the collectors.
Okay.
You're the ones driving demand in the art market,
Mm-hmm.
and your decisions have a significant impact.
For sure.
So what advice would you offer them in a world where the lines between art and technology are increasingly blurred?
I always come back to this.
Okay.
Buy art that you love, art that speaks to you on a personal level.
Okay.
It sounds simple,
Yeah.
but it's easy to get caught up in the frenzy of speculation or the pressure to acquire these status symbols.
Right.
Don't fall into that trap.
It can be hard to resist getting swept up in the excitement,
Yeah.
especially when you see prices skyrocketing.
Right.
But it's crucial to remember that art is more than just a way to make a quick buck.
If you're solely focused on flipping art for a profit, you're missing out on the true joy of collecting.
Right.
The connection, the discovery, the enrichment that art can bring to your life.
It's about more than money.
Exactly. That's what matters in the end.
So how can collectors balance that personal connection with the realities of a changing art market?
Well, diversification is always key.
Right.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket,
Right.
especially in volatile markets like we're seeing today.
Yeah.
Spread your investments across different artists, periods, styles, and even mediums.
Okay.
Think about building a collection that tells a story that reflects your own unique tastes and interests.
It's like building a narrative, not just a portfolio.
I like that.
And as with any investment, do your research.
Yes.
Educate yourself about the artists,
Mhm.
the market trends, the historical context.
Talk to experts, visit galleries, attend auctions.
Right.
Immerse yourself in the art world. The more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be to make sound decisions that align with your taste, your values, and your investment goals.
So much great advice for collectors.
Yeah.
But we can't forget about the artists.
No, we can't.
You are the creative force behind the art world, the ones who bring beauty, meaning, and provocation into our lives.
They are.
What advice would you offer them in this age of art market bubbles?
It's important for artists to remember that their primary focus should be on creating authentic and meaningful work.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in the pressure to produce what's trendy or what you think will sell.
Right.
Stay true to your vision, your voice, your unique perspective. That's what will ultimately resonate with collectors and stand the test of time.
Right.
Trends come and go, but true artistry endures.
It's easy to get caught up in the hype
Yeah.
and lose sight of why you create art in the first place.
Right. Be aware of the market,
Yeah.
but don't let it dictate your creative process.
Right.
Don't chase trends or try to game the system. Focus on honing your craft, developing your skills, and pushing the boundaries of your artistic expression.
And remember, building a sustainable career takes time and dedication.
Yes.
Don't get discouraged by rejections or slow sales.
Right.
Success doesn't happen overnight.
No.
Surround yourself with a supportive community of fellow artists, mentors, and advisors,
Yeah.
and never stop learning, growing, and evolving as an artist.
It's about the journey.
The journey is just as important as the destination.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we conclude this deep dive into art market bubbles, what key takeaways should our listeners remember?
The most important lesson is that art is more than just a commodity.
Okay.
It's a reflection of our humanity, our creativity, our shared history.
While market forces will always play a role, we have to remember the intrinsic value of art, the power it has to inspire, to challenge, to connect us.
Absolutely.
Whether you're a gallery rep, a collector, or an artist, approach the art world with a sense of wonder, curiosity, and a deep appreciation for the transformative power of art.
Be mindful of the risks of speculation, but don't let fear stifle your passion or your creativity.
The art world needs both.
The art world needs both.
Embrace the evolution of the art world,
Yeah.
but do so with discernment, integrity, and a commitment to fostering a more sustainable and equitable future for art and artists.
That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about.
Thank you for joining us on Next T Art. We hope you found these insights valuable.
We did too.
Remember to subscribe and share.
Yes.
Until next time, keep exploring art's exciting and ever-evolving future.